Hey guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and welcome to Basic Jazz Guitar 2. If you haven't done Basic Jazz Guitar, the first tutorial, it's not such a problem. I'm going to make a quick review about Basic Jazz Guitar, like 5 minutes. If you don't get what I'm talking about, then I strongly recommend that you do Basic Jazz Guitar. The link is going to be in the description below, and then you really have to do that, otherwise you cannot follow this tutorial here. After the review of the Basic Jazz Guitar, I'm going to talk about minor modes, and I'm going to talk about secondary dominants, and those two topics together with Basic Jazz Guitar will finish your first instruction in theory about jazz guitar. And then we are ready to start to get to the cool stuff, the playing. And then it's going to be ongoing, you know. Learning jazz guitar is really a long process to understand, and you're going to be able to play all these modes and chords and stuff and like that. To understand is really a lot of theory, and till you're able to play freely and out of your heart and out of your feeling, it takes a while till all this theory just settles down in your system. But these two lessons are really important, Basic Jazz Guitar and Basic Jazz Guitar 2. So let's get started with a quick review of Basic Jazz Guitar, and then I go into the new topics. And as I said, if you cannot follow the really quick review, then you really have to first do the other one, the Basic Jazz Guitar. Now I'm going to first start with the review of Basic Jazz Guitar. Just quickly, I was talking about the major mode, in this case C major, or in a pattern or on one string. And on each note of each note represents a step in Roman numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay? And to each step there is a mode and a chord attached, and it's in any key always the same. In this case, in C, we have a C major scale and the C Ionian mode, which is intervals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Second, we have a minor 7 chord Dorian. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. On third step, we have a minor 7 chord again, Phrygian. 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Fourth step is a major chord again, major 7 chord again, F major 7, 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7. On the fifth step we have a dominant chord. There will be G7, Mixolydian mode. That one before was Lydian, I think I forgot to say it. This is Mixolydian, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So these are the intervals of the modes. Okay. Then 6 is a minor 7 again, Aeolian mode. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. And the seventh one is a minor 7 flat 5 chord and the Locrian scale. 1, flat 2, 3, 4, flat 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, and then we are back on C major. So these are the steps, and the progression Out of these steps you build progressions. Like, and we have the classical cadence, that will be 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1. That's a classical, and the dominant chord is really important because the dominant chord is the one. The progression always starts on the point of where things are, you know, resolved. Builds up tension. Here's the maximum tension on the dominant chord. The dominant chord is the most important chord in jazz. That's why I'm going back to this again, because you really need to know this. Dominant chord resolves back to 1, and now the circle is closed. That's the way you build a progression. You can do any progression, and the dominant chord is a fifth above the resolution point. A fifth, this is the interval, the fifth is a power chord here. See, that's or fourth below. Is always there, and that's a resolution point back. Any dominant, I'm talking about any dominant because now we're also going to talk about secondary dominants. You know, it's really important. A fifth below or above is the resolution point of any dominant. Okay, good. So that was a quick review. If you didn't get what I was talking about, please make basic jazz guitar. Also download the exercise files in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. They're available there for free for basic members or premium members, of course. And now we go to the next thing. This was now in major, but as you already know, probably, we also have songs which are in minor. A lot of songs are in minor. So how is it there with the progressions and the modes? That's pretty simple. Since a major key has a parallel mol key, it's nothing new. So the parallel mol key, like of C major, is A minor, because the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6 is a parallel mol key, you know. And now everything stays exactly the same, only when you count through, as you know, this is the step 6, Roman 6, but in minor this becomes the 1, okay? That has an influence on the progressions, because now the progression starts here to 1, and I was talking about the classical cadence, you know. 1, then the 4 would be the 2 here, and the 5 would be the 3. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It's all the same, just the steps move. The 6 becomes the 1. So that's not a big problem, you know. But now when we come into the progression, that was just to explain it in C major, but it's a little bit crazy too. I'm going to do it here first like this. Okay. So the progression now 1, 4, 5, 1. And as you remember, I was talking about the dominant chord. The dominant chord is the one which is strongly makes the circle the strongest to in a progression. Since it's the main dominant chord is on the step number 5, but now we have a minor chord here instead of a dominant 7 chord. And so the guys who went into music, like in the Middle Ages, said, okay guys, we need a dominant there. So they just did one, you know. So instead of 1, 2, 1, 4, so here instead of a minor 7, you play a dominant 7. And you can hear it resolves perfectly. 1, 4, 5, 1. See? And that's the basic trick, you know? So you make the same progressions again in minor, like, I don't know, 1, 4. What is really often is 1, 2, 5, 1, 1, 2, 5, 1, you know? That works. Or 1, 4, 2, 5, 1. See how it works. But you also can do a minor on the 5th step. And now comes the question. So why do we have different chords on one step, since we said every step has its related chord? That's only the basics. Every step can have any chord, you know. We don't want to go too deep into this. We just talk about dominance and secondary dominance now, okay? So, but let's first stay on minor. So if we have two chords on the 5th step, a minor 7, E minor 7, or E7, so which would be the related mode? If it's a minor 7, it's clear, it's the Phrygian mode. 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So, but now we have a dominant chord. What is the difference between a minor 7 chord and the major 7 chord? Is the flat 3 becomes a 3. So, the Phrygian mode becomes Phrygian natural 3. So you augment the flat 3, 1, flat 2, flat 3, half step to 3. Then we have the correct mode. That will be Phrygian natural 3. And some people call it super Phrygian, some call them, and this is the birth of harmonic minor. Probably recognize it. The reason why, that's the reason why I got it invented. They needed this 3, you know. 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Yeah. And so this really works in any key. It's always on the 5th step. You have either Phrygian or Phrygian natural 3. It depends which chord you select, you know. Let's do an example. I just was related now to the parallel mole in C major. But now let's do it in C minor, the whole thing. That you see how you don't think it in parallel mole, you think it in minor, you know. So we do it in C now. C minor. So this would be the basic scale would be Aeolian. That would be this one here. Played on one string reveals you the steps. So we have 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. And that's the way you also name the steps in the Roman numbers. 1, you know, Roman 1, Roman 2, Roman 3, Roman flat 3, Roman 4, Roman 5. If it's minor, you make 5 V and like this for minor, or just a 5, then everybody knows it's a dominant, you know. 5, flat 6, flat 7. And we have the chords, minor 7, first step. We have the minor 7 flat 5 on the second step. That one is that will be Locrian, and that one is used really often in minor tunes. In major tunes you don't use it so often, but in minor tunes you really use it often. We have here flat 2, flat 3 will be a major chord with Ionian. Oh, I forgot Locrian. It will be that one here. The flat 3 will be, as I said, Ionian. 4 will be Dorian. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. Okay. And here we have either minor 7, G minor 7, either Phrygian 1, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, and so on, or Phrygian natural 3, 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, flat 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Okay? And then we have the chord on the step flat 6. That will be a major. In this case it's A flat major, and it's here we have Lydian. 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and so on. And on the 7 we have a dominant 7, but this one is not the typical dominant 7 chord, you know, it's just a dominant 7. It's not the dominant chord of the progression, because the dominant chord is always on the step 5, always. The other one, and that's then the next thing in this tutorial, are secondary dominants. That's something else. I'm just coming to this now. So, here, Mixolydian. And back to 1, Aeolian. So, now we can have any progression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. That's our 1, 1, 2, 5, 1. Sounds cool. Or 1, 4, 2, 5. And what is also very typically minor is going down. 1, 6, 7, flat 7. 2. Let's do it from here. So 1, flat 7, flat 6 to 5. 2 back to 1. Yeah. So you can find your progressions in minor. These are the typical ones, the ones just going down, or the normal ones which go over the dominant with 1, 4, 5, which is the classical cadence. Good. So these were major, minor modes, the basic ones with the 7 steps. Now, what happens if you have a chord on a step which doesn't fit the rules till now? And this can be any chord, but for today we only concentrate on secondary dominants. What are secondary dominants? Secondary dominants or dominant chords, as I showed on the minor basics, which are not on the 5th step. You know, only on the 5th step there is the main dominant chord. This is really important, guys, because the dominant chord and secondary dominant chord is the main thing in jazz, because it's always about building up a tension and resolving tension. The secondary dominant could be anywhere. A secondary dominant, as an example, now in minor, C minor, we could have instead of a D minor on the 2nd step, where we have a Let's do it no. Let's do it simpler. Let's do it like this. Some minor blues, they have what happened? I played first C minor 7 and C7, but the C7 on the first step, we don't have a dominant chord on the first step. So this is a secondary dominant. And the secondary dominant, as I said, the resolution of the dominant is always a fifth above, a fifth below, or a fourth above. Okay? So, if you want to pull stronger to the fourth step, you play a secondary dominant. Okay? Let's do it on the second step. Instead of a -7 flat 5, I play this is a D -7 flat 5, I play D7. See how this secondary dominant pulled stronger to the next chord. And again, the resolution point is a fourth interval above or a fifth below. In this case, the G. Okay? Let's do C major 7. No, this not C, sorry. E flat major 7. On the third step, this doesn't work. Why? It does. But it doesn't really sound so nice. Now we here we have a dominant 7 chord on the third step. Resolution point again, a fourth above or a fifth below. That will be A flat. In this case, it's this flat 7 step. So this, if you want to lead from here, it works. Then you can continue from here like, yeah. So secondary, but secondary dominants are only dominants which are on steps which are on the basic key on the steps. There are also other ones available, but those ones are, you don't call them secondary dominants, it's something else. We don't gonna go there at the moment because it's gonna be too confusing. Just secondary dominants. It could be anywhere. Yeah. Or like here, 1, 2, 4. That will, but now we make a 7 chord. As always, the resolution is the main thing. A fourth above, a fifth below. Yeah. Now the question is, which scale do we play, or which mode do we play there? The system is simple, as I already showed you on minor. On the main dominant, you just take the main mode, like on the first step will be Aeolian, as a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. And now if you have a C7, you just replace the flat 3 to a 3. And this gives us a, we call this Maj7 flat 6, you know. Yeah. On the second step, we have 2 notes which have to be adapted from Locrian, because also the flat 5 has to be adapted, and this leads us to Phrygian natural 3. On the third step, we have Aeolian, and the secondary dominant leads us to Mixolydian because we just need to adapt the 7 to flat 7. On the fourth step, we have Dorian, and Dorian we have to replace the flat 3 to a 3, and that leads us to Mixolydian. On the fifth, I already explained. On the sixth, we have Lydian. This is not a secondary dominant because there is not a resolution to one of the steps. But if you have one there, it's always the same system. You just replace the notes which don't fit to the other notes, and then you have a new mode. In this case, it will be Lydian flat 7. And that's it. Yeah. As I said, secondary dominants, they are on the steps, and sorry, I forgot that before. They resolve on one of the basic steps. These are secondary dominants, and they're really extremely important. Dominants are the main thing in jazz. There's nothing about dominance. Or also, later we're going to talk about 2/5 movements. 2/5 movements are also extremely important. It's just an advanced thing of the dominance, but you need to understand the dominance. The main dominant is, of course, always the 5, but and it resolves a fifth below, a fourth above. Okay, that's really extremely important. Yeah, and to adapt the modes, you just need to replace the old notes which don't fit with the new ones, and then you analyze what it is. After a certain while, you know the stuff by heart. It's not such a big thing. But at a certain point, you know everything by heart, and it's just like riding a bike. But at the moment, probably it's a little bit challenging for you. Yo. Yeah, okay, guys, this was now Basic Jazz Guitar 2. Probably a little bit a hard one for you. If you don't get it, just rewatch it. If you have difficulties following the first 5 minutes where I make a review of the Basic Jazz Guitar tutorial, first go there and repeat that one as many times till you get it. Because if you don't get Basic Jazz Guitar, you don't get Basic Jazz Guitar 2. These two tutorials are extremely important. You need to be able to shuffle these numbers and steps and chords just like this, that it's not a brainer anymore. I know for many it is at the beginning. Sorry to say that, but that's how it is. There's no shortcut. That's no easier way to explain it. My method with having the modes, knowing them by heart by just the numbers of the intervals is more challenging at the beginning, because you need to know those numbers by heart, those intervals of the modes. But once you know them, it gets way more easy because everything is connected. Once you understand the intervals, once you understand the connections between the steps and the dominants, then everything starts to, just flow. I know many of you might think, I will never get this. And I've seen people fail. But then just try once more. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's an epiphany moment, One day you just keep it going. Maybe talk with others about. That's probably the best thing you can do. Discuss this topic with others. And there I come to the HPCrazy Guitar Community. That's the best place to talk about this. You can ask your questions there. You can also ask me. You can make a support ticket. Ask me if you really have difficulties on this, or take a private lesson. It's probably also to help you understand if you need help, if it doesn't make, you just, one day you will wake up, you know, it's like your brain is full of information, and one day you wake up and then, oh my God, it's so easy. Finally, I see it. And believe me, guys, if this moment comes, it's easy as riding a bike. But till you get there, you think, it's drive me crazy, you know. Yo, guys. As I said, join the HPCrazy guitar. You can also download the files of the stuff which I just showed with the steps, and probably makes it more easy for you to follow. Yeah, that one is for free. I gave it for free because I don't want to make your life more hard. But if you love what I'm doing, please make a premium membership upgrade, and then I really am open to answer more questions. And ask your questions there. If you have questions, I know you will have, ask them there and we solve it. And the moment where you wake up in the morning, you have your cup of coffee, then suddenly, oh my God, it was so easy. I never thought it's so easy. This moment will come one day, even if you don't believe in it at the moment. Yeah. Because it's total logic, it's just numbers which just shift all the time, you know. And it's always the same numbers. Yo, what more to say? Yeah. If you love this lesson, please share it to your friends. Please share my channel to your friends. Please join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. I really strongly recommend it to discuss these things with others. There's a best use video where you can see how you use all the functions there. Yeah, and just keep it going. Bye, guys.